In the news this week, human rights activists triumph over PNG's ruling against asylum seekers' detention.
Plus, Labor's new Senator Patrick Dodson takes up his position.
And on Western Perspective, the truth behind controversial plans for urban development and environmental conservation in the face of Perth's increasing population.
This is the Evening News.
Good evening. After almost 3 years' worth of controversy, the Supreme Court of Papua New Guinea has ruled that detaining asylum seekers on Manus Island was unconstitutional. The ruling was a coup for human rights activists as the federal government scrambles to find a new solution.
Bad, wrong, inhumane and unconstitutional. That was the ruling of the Supreme Court of Papua New Guinea on Australia's detainment of asylum seekers on Manus Island. Human rights activists responded with rallies in the city.
Most of them, I believe, will be found to be refugees. I think that the government of Australia will struggle to find other solutions for them.
It comes at a bad time for the coalition government, with an upcoming election in July. Some Liberal Party members said the ruling is a result of the Rudd and Gillard government's failure on border control policies.
I think what's in the news is pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, there's been a decision in PNG and it puts the whole situation up in the air, and that just goes to show why the policy was silly in the first place.
Meanwhile, Peter Dutton stated that the Australian government would be cooperating with the PNG to address these issues. WA Premier Colin Barnett also spoke briefly on this issue.
I think what you can say about the government of Tony Abbott and Malcolm Turnbull is that they've stopped the boats coming and they've stopped hundreds of people drowning at sea.
Helene Fong, WAMN News.
A new era has begun in Australian politics after Labor's new Aboriginal Senator Patrick Dodson takes up his position. Meanwhile, Liberal MP was criticised for making an anti-same-sex marriage speech in the chamber during his special occasion.
A respected Indigenous leader welcomed into Parliament, Patrick Dodson taking his place as Western Australia's newest senator.
I want to express my absolute humility at being elected to the Senate to represent the state of Western Australia.
Replacing outgoing Labor Senator Joe Bullock, he promised to continue serving WA, expanding on his work in Aboriginal reconciliation.
I want to work in Western Australia to ensure that all Western Australians enjoy the quality of life that everyone else enjoys.
And it earned him an endorsement from the Premier and opposition.
He's widely respected and will be a great representative for all West Australians, particularly those in the regions, those in the north and Indigenous West Australians.
His appointment was marred though, Liberal MP Peter Abetz protesting same-sex marriage in Parliament.
And I think it was inappropriate for that reason. I did speak to Pat after and I apologised if it caused him any embarrassment.
But it didn't ruin the occasion. Nelson Liu, WAMN News.
Former Police Commissioner Brian Ball has become the new victim of burglary, with valuable police memorabilia stolen from his home in Swanview. It happened between 2:15 to 3 p.m. on Thursday. It's understood some jewellery was also stolen from his home.
The time I got him, Pat had gone into the house, which she should never have done. And then, of course, by the time she got in, she met me coming out and telling me that we've been broken into. That's a terrible feeling. A terrible feeling.
The new Auburn Grove station has suffered a budget blowout of $120 million due to extra infrastructure upgrades. Transport Minister Dean Nowder argues the government is delivering a station precinct exceeding what they originally proposed. He also reminded the public that there will be road delays in June as the station construction enters its key phase.
The cost of the station is around $72 million, the cost of the trains are around $23 million and the roadworks around $25 million. We weren't originally planning the roadworks in there, but when I came in and wanted to look at a fully integrated train station and make sure that we looked, I realised that there was a need to provide better crossover with the bridge.
An American Korean citizen has been sentenced to 10 years of hard labour by the North Korean authorities this week. The sentence was handed down to Kim Dong-choi by the state's Supreme Court after the 62-year-old was accused of stealing military documents. He became the second US citizen to be detained this year after student Otto Womby was given 15 years of hard labour.
Republican President candidate Ted Cruz made Fiorina his running mate. Trump has now won in 5 states, leaving the count up to Indiana. Fiorina has stirred controversy earlier this year over critiques of Trump and Hillary Clinton. Trump has responded in saying that it is one of the greatest actions of desperation he has seen.
Carly is someone who has knowledge, who has judgment, and who has character. That's what I was looking for, the most serious determination that any leader makes, any presidential candidate makes.
And finally tonight, PMH volunteer Joe Lawang celebrated his 100th birthday this week, giving tips on health to Minister John Day. Lawang celebrated this special occasion with his family and friends. He also received letters from Queen Elizabeth II and Premier Colin Barnett.
The unhappy times I keep away. Right, I try to keep happy, and I do mental exercises, that you need to keep yourself busy.
Well, to reach the age of 100 is a big achievement, of course, but to be so actively involved as a volunteer in the community is, I think, a wonderful inspiration to all of us, and it just shows that you're really never too old to make a contribution.
And those are the top stories you need to know this week. We have the latest news on our website and Facebook.
Thanks for your company and good night.
Good night.
Hello, I'm Dylan Webstone and welcome to Western Perspective.